Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about?
Hair, no hair, extra hair.
Try to keep my hair.
Crazy hair.
It's usually crazy.
Did you listen or watch the stuff I sent you last night?
I am working through it. I'm like 5 minutes in.
That was such a pain in the butt to edit. Like, you kept sharing your screen, and you don't know this, but when you share your screen, I've got to stop the editing. I got to go find what you shared, add it to the timeline. It's just like, and then I got to edit it down and get rid of, like, the city that was showing on your pictures of Jake.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to, like, edit all that out so you couldn't see it. And then we kept saying that word. If you haven't got to it yet, we'll get there.
I will. Yeah.
So how's your week so far?
Busy.
Good busy, bad busy?
Both busy.
It's like everything busy?
Everything busy.
It's everything, Allison.
I got my new manager, so...
Did you say manicure or manager?
Manager.
Manager, okay.
Well, I'm happy.
I could use a manicure.
I could also use one. See, I still got like debris from my last polish.
I drilled my thumb in that project that I sent you. Yeah, so I was like, I need someone to clean this up for me.
Nice.
So the garden's doing good?
Yes. I don't know when I'm supposed to expect a cucumber.
But you got the little babies? Little baby cucumbers, right?
Well, they have yellow flowers on them?
Yeah, that's the female flowers.
Oh.
So the female has the fruit.
Okay. I don't know anything
so
about that for me.
if it gets pollinated by a male flower, it'll
I feel like this is
grow and have this is sex-edited plants.
Oh, goodness.
It's a learning moment though. Like I actually didn't know. I learned that there's male and female flowers because I was like, my flowers are falling off, and so the male flowers they bloom and then they just fall off. So I was like, something's wrong. So I had to look it up. Did you take a message?
No, I got a Teams message because I forgot to go into my my focus mode. There we go.
So you have a new delivery manager.
Yes, he starts in July.
In July? Oh gosh. That's right, they got to give notice.
Yeah. And when you work in other consulting places, sometimes you have to wrap up what you're doing and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he sounds like a promising candidate.
I am very excited about him.
And not to get too worky, but what does a delivery manager do where we work at?
So they are 50% billable, 50% manager. They have 8 to 10, sometimes 12, ranging from TC up to PTC. And they're responsible for their job growth and career growth and their reviews every year and making sure they have work and happiness and all of those things.
So managerial
Plus,
activities.
on a project, and you can be on a project in any capacity as long as it's billable. So TC, architect, BPC, pretty much whatever. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
The 50-50.
Yeah. Which is sometimes difficult depending on the team you have. Because not all people are created equally, and sometimes people need a lot more attention than others, which is fine.
Yes. I've managed both. I know.
Yes. And there are days where I'm like, maybe I'll stop managing people.
I won't say I didn't like it, but I knew that that's not what I wanted to do long term.
There are some really good days and then really hard days.
Yeah. And then people are people.
Yes.
Is your dog sleeping with her legs open?
That's
oh
how
my
she
god.
sleeps. That's how she sleeps.
Oh my gosh. Total hip relaxation.
Oh yeah. She loves to get her. She does it, and she's like, "You can rub my belly whenever you have time."
I just got a glimpse of one leg, and I was like, "What in the world?"
That's how she lays when she sleeps. The other one,
Haley's
starting to do it.
I was like imitating.
Yes.
Yeah, that episode I just edited too. The dog was. It was this episode. I haven't told you about this.
Oh yeah, you told me you bought one, but I
bought one, and I don't know if you can see the damage. She is able to pop this open, and then she'll start licking it to death and putting her tongue in there and trying to get the treats out.
That's impressive, because that thing, I can barely get it open.
Oh, she was just... I know, I could barely too with my fingers.
Yeah.
And she just went to town on it, and then I have to watch her because like I don't want her swallowing the plastic or something. So it just got stressful when I stopped giving it to her. I mean, it's entertaining for me too at first, but
I would say it lasted a day.
It was 2 days. Yeah.
I'm just impressed because that thing's hard to open.
She is very chew aggressive.
Okay.
She
is determined.
She is determined. She's like, I will find a vulnerability in this and I will tear it apart.
So funny. Because she's how old?
We've had her for almost 10 years, but she was at the shelter for 3 years, so we're assuming 12-ish.
That's pretty good for an older dog.
Yeah. She can't walk the greatest, but she can chew the hell out of something, and she's got good teeth.
Yeah. Rory's still in the chew phase, so she's getting better, but she's still in the chew phase.
Is she sleeping too?
She's in the living room. I have my doors shut, so.
Good. Yeah. There was a lot of interruptions in our last episode too that I just edited.
Yes.
Mine included. She started barking at the tree people. Yeah. I had to take the video, so it was so loud on the recording that I had to like chop up the video and take my volume down to 15% out of 100 because it was
hear it.
Well, so it got at full volume over here, and so if you were listening to the podcast, you would have been like, "Whoa!" It would have been so scary. So I was like, I've got to bring the volume down on this. And there she goes.
Yeah. She's like, I'm back to my normal spot.
Oh man, anything new in the ServiceNow land?
I don't think so. I'm doing the same old. Other than rebuilding our thing.
Can you tell me more? Rebuilding our thing, without telling me too much.
Yeah, so me and Dale are rebuilding.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Got it. Yes.
So, it's been interesting.
Yeah, let's see, how can we talk about this? Probably really shouldn't, but it's, what I would say, my comment is, it's really hard to be prescriptive with ServiceNow when, I've been doing this almost 4 years now, and even before I did this, like you meet with each department in a company, and everybody's different. Everybody has different needs, different measures, different issues, different requirements, and it's like, and that's what ServiceNow is good at, is kind of molding to that. So kind of doing anything prescribed is just, I don't know, antithetical? Is that the word?
Yeah,
to me.
Well, and that's our pushback has been like, we can build something prescriptive based on our years of experience and what we see people doing, what we know you should and shouldn't do, but is it going to meet your needs? And that's why we have, I want to say anguish because that's not the word, but like why we have a lot of hesitation, because the other thing is we're not going to load technical debt into someone else's instance. And so how we're building it, there is no technical debt at all, because everything we're doing is configuration. We are doing 0 customizations. They're all just configurations. And then it's, I will say we did change it a little bit to be more based on the current maturity models of ServiceNow, where our other one was like a mixed match of like where people were. Mm-hmm. So I, as a customer, wouldn't want it. But that's because I've been doing this for so long that I know what I could do. But I also get that, you know, cost and things like that impact people's ability to do more. So.
Yeah. I recently went through an exercise with an AE. He probably listens to this, so he's going to hear this. But there was tension over the pricing. And it wasn't just the professional services, it was ServiceNow as well. And I think this is Justin talking, that you've got to be a certain size company to afford ServiceNow.
Yep.
And when we try to take it to a company that can't afford it, you know, because they're smaller, they're not as, don't have as much to invest in professional services or in the products, because, you know, ServiceNow has got a bunch of different offerings on the different types of products you could use. And it almost feels like I'm letting them down, because it's like, well, yeah, you could do this, and 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 you could do this, but you can't afford it. So you can only do this. And I hate that. Like,
I do too. And especially when you're like in the project and they're like, well, we just want to do this thing. And you're like, I know, but your funding says differently. And you have to like navigate it. It's pretty,
Yeah, to me, like the one that comes to mind immediately is discovery. And this actually happened to me as a customer.
Yeah.
They bought, I don't work there anymore, ITSM and ITBM at the time. And we didn't understand when we did it that discovery was a separate thing.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, why can't we see any of our stuff in the environment? And it's like, well, that's discovery. And I was like, oh my God, you know, like, who doesn't need discovery?
Right.
Like, if you're doing incident management or problem or change management,
especially change,
discovery goes hand in hand, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's expensive. It costs more money, and then it's like you go back to the CIO, and you're like, "Why do you need more money? I thought that was all you needed."
Exactly. And that's why, like, I get why we're building what we're building, but yeah.
Speaking of discovery, I just got my mid server in my computer environment here finally connected to the network. So when you set up these virtual machines or these Docker containers, they make their own little tiny networks, and they can't get out. Like, well, I'm sorry, they can get out to the internet, but they can't talk to anything in your office or whatever. And I finally fixed that on my Windows machine that has a 180-day license. So like I have this tiny window now where I can like try out discovery in my office. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. That's what you do on your weekends.
Yes, in fact, this weekend, what did I do? I added. Okay, hold on to your pants. I was gonna say something else inappropriate. I added YouTube feed, WordPress feed, and Haley. Hey, I'm on a call. Hey. You quit barking. 2 in a row. And news.jace.pro feed to my Justin's House application in ServiceNow. So that's what I did over the weekend. So this is what's cool about it. So let's take our podcast. Our podcast will publish tomorrow at
noon.
Someone backing up down the driveway. I'm not expecting any deliveries. I hear the backing up noise through my headphones. Yeah, they're not coming here. Okay, where was I? So tomorrow at noon, Otterly Owlsome podcast will publish. That publishes on YouTube and on the different podcasting platforms. But on my PDI, in Justin's House application, I have a content record that represents that podcast.
Yeah.
So that I need to do stuff, right? I need to edit it, I need to publish and all that. So there's a record. Now there's also YouTube and WordPress. WordPress is my blog.
Yeah.
So when I say on the record, content record, this is now published, it now requires me to put in what date it's supposed to publish and the YouTube video ID, which is just the little end of the YouTube video. So I copy paste that in. And so the day that it publishes now, my instance will at like afternoon, it'll go out and pull any new YouTube videos, it'll pull any WordPress posts, and it'll search those for that video ID, and then it'll automatically link them to the content record.
It's pretty cool.
So now I have everything linked, and then I've got some future stuff I can do. So that was actually what I worked on the weekend.
Along with your building of the nursery bed.
Yes, when I wasn't building.
Yes.
So like when I say I use ServiceNow for what I do, I mean it. I'm like literally doing everything in ServiceNow.
You are invested.
And before you hopped on, it was good that you're running late, because you're an important person, not because you're lazy. You were on another call. I was battling with regex in my PDI because searching for the price of an app in the App Store, the ServiceNow store, the way the price is in there, it kind of varies if it's free or if it's a cost, monthly, yearly, whatever. And so I got so frustrated. I go over to ChatGPT. I'm like, please fix my regex, and it fixed it. And it worked. And then I was like, I have no idea what that line does. So I wrote back, I was like, can you please explain this line of code? And it literally started explaining, like, step by step what that line of code was doing. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm good now.
That's awesome. That it'll actually, like, walk you through it, too.
Yes. Yeah, I learned that from Michael, to just pass the regex off to the artificial intelligence. So... I don't know. Have you messed with regex much?
Not a lot, no. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the beach over the weekend.
I saw
yes.
Pelicans, I think you were at a game.
Yeah, we went to the Myrtle Beach Pelicans baseball game. It was Dexter's first baseball game.
Very nice. You were looking tan in that picture, by the way.
Huh?
You were looking very tan in that picture.
Well, we sat out Friday afternoon for several hours, and then we ended up doing nothing but going to the beach. Sometime in the baseball game, but tickets are like $10, And Dexter had never been, so he made it 4 innings, which was longer than we thought. Had a hot dog. So it was funny when we were looking up tickets. It was like each game had like a certain theme or whatever, and Friday was Paw Patrol theme, which he didn't get to meet the dogs or whatever. But Wednesday is Wiener Wednesday.
Ooh.
And so we were reading things aloud, and so all he kept telling people that he was going to Wiener Day at the baseball game. And we were like, no, just Wednesday. We're going on Friday. And he goes, but it can still be Wiener Day.
Aww.
And I'm like, sure.
Just roll with it.
Why not? And he
bring your own wieners,
Oh, and he told his dad, he was like, guess where I'm going later? And he was like, where? He's like, Wiener Day. And I'm like, he's going to a baseball game. Going to a baseball game.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was fun. It was nice to just sit.
Now, do you guys swim in the ocean?
I'll get in the ocean, especially if Dexter wants to get in, but not really. So, yeah.
Nice.
And we found these new seltzers we like.
Ooh.
One is called Ranch Water. My friend sent it to me because it's like low calories, no sugar, all that. And then there's some called High Noon, which is like vodka. And then they have one that's tequila. But we tried the vodka ones, and they're very good.
When you say like vodka, you mean like...
No, it's like vodka with a flavor, which I drink Tito's and soda, so it...
Okay, so it's like a drink, a mixed drink, not vodka, straight vodka.
In a can. So, like, it's a sipper. So.
I needed to try this ranch water. This is not the first time you've mentioned it.
Really? Did I mention it? Because she just told me about it last week, so...
I don't know if it was on here or if it was just you and I talking.
Yeah, we were probably just talking, but the margarita ones are okay. They're a little much for me, but they have other flavors, and the spicy one is really good. Like, it's not spicy, it's just got like a... I don't know what you call it.
A tingle?
Yeah, like, because it's not spicy, but it's like, I get why they call it spicy. which I'm doing a terrible job describing it. But yeah. The only one I didn't really care for was the pear one, but I don't really care for pears. So
I like spicy, so spicy sounds good.
like I said, it's not spicy, but it's still good. But you can only get
like
them
hot
in the
sauce in
variety.
your. What? What were you gonna say?
I've only been able to find the spicy ones in like the variety pack.
Okay, so not like alone in a... Do you like hot sauce in your Bloody Mary?
I don't like Bloody Marys because I don't like tomato juice.
Okay.
My best friend does Bloody Caesars, which sound disgusting, and I've seen her make them, and I'm like,
I don't know what that is.
it's clamato juice. It's ginger, pepper, those little, what are those little bitty pickles called?
Gherkins?
Yeah, those and like one other thing, but every time she makes them, I'm like, because I'm like, clamato juice, no thank you. Oh, and vodka.
Nice. You gotta have the alcohol, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're at time. I think you have another
I
meeting
do,
you gotta go to. But I got 20 minutes of Allison, so we got a little bit of one-on-one time. So I hope you have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye.